Donald John Trump, born June 14, 1946, is an American politician, media personality, and businessman who served as the 45th President of the United States from 2017 to 2021. Early life. Trump was born on June 14, 1946, at Jamaica Hospital in Queens, New York City, the fourth child of Fred Trump and Mary Ann McLeod Trump. He grew up with older siblings Mary Ann, Fred Jr., and Elizabeth and younger brother Robert in the Jamaica Estates neighborhood of Queens. He attended the private Q Forest School through 7th grade and New York Military Academy, a private boarding school, from 8th through 12th grade, 5-4, in 1964. He enrolled at Fordham University. 2 years later, he transferred to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, graduating in May 1968 with a Bachelor of Science in Economics. In 2015, Trump's lawyers threatened Trump's colleges, his high school, and the College Board with legal action if they released his academic records. While in college, Trump obtained for student draft deferments during the Vietnam War. In 1966, he was deemed fit for military service based on a medical examination, and in July 1968, a local draft board classified him as eligible to serve. In October 1968, he was classified 1Y, a conditional medical deferment for bone spurs, and in 1972, he was reclassified 4F, unfit for military service, permanently disqualifying him. Family. In 1977, Trump married Czech model Ivana Zelníková. They had 3 children, Donald Jr., born 1977, Ivanka, 1981, and Eric, 1984. The couple divorced in 1990, following Trump's affair with actress Marla Maples. Trump and Maples married in 1993 and divorced in 1999. They have one daughter, Tiffany, born 1993, who was raised by Maples in California. In 2005, Trump married Slovenian model Melania Naus. They have one son, Baron, born 2006. Religion. In the 1970s, Trump's parents joined the Marble Collegiate Church, part of the Reformed Church in America. He went to Sunday school and was confirmed in 1959 at the First Presbyterian Church in Jamaica, Queens. In 2015, he said he was a Presbyterian and attended Marble Collegiate Church. The church said he was not an active member. In 2019, he appointed his personal pastor, televangelist Paula White, to the White House Office of Public Liaison. In 2020, he said he identified as a non-denominational Christian. Health habits. Trump says he has never drunk alcohol, smoked cigarettes, or used drugs. He sleeps about 4 or 5 hours a night. He has called golfing his primary form of exercise, but usually does not walk the course. He considers exercise a waste of energy because he believes the body is like a battery with a finite amount of energy, which is depleted by exercise. In 2015, Trump's campaign released a letter from his longtime personal physician, Harold Bornstein, stating that Trump would be the healthiest individual ever elected to the presidency. In 2018, Bornstein said Trump had dictated the contents of the letter and that 3 of Trump's agents had seized his medical records in a February 2017 raid on the doctor's office. Wealth. In 1982, Trump made the Forbes list of wealthy people for holding a share of his family's estimated $200 million net worth. However, his losses in the 1980s dropped him from the list between 1990 and 1995. After filing a mandatory financial disclosure report with the FEC in 2015, he announced a net worth of about $10 billion. Forbes estimated his net worth dropped by $1.4 billion between 2015 and 2018. In 2018, journalist Jonathan Greenberg reported that Trump had called him in 1984 pretending to be a fictional Trump Organization official named John Barron. Trump began his career with a small loan from his father and had to pay it back with interest. In 2018, he and his family were reported to have committed tax fraud, and Forbes estimated his net worth declined from $4.5 billion in 2015 to $3.1 billion in 2017. Trump's tax returns from 1985 to 1994 show net losses totaling $1.17 billion, higher than most other American taxpayers. Business career. Real estate. Trump began his career at his father's real estate company, Trump Management, which owned racially segregated middle-class rental housing in New York City's outer boroughs. Between 1991 and 2009, he filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection for 6 of his businesses: the Plaza Hotel in Manhattan, the casinos in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and the Trump Hotels and Casino Resorts Company. Trump's first Manhattan venture was the renovation of the derelict Commodore Hotel, which was financed by a $400 million city property tax abatement and a $70 million bank construction loan. In 1988, Trump acquired the Plaza Hotel with a loan from a consortium of 16 banks, which filed for bankruptcy protection in 1992. In 1995, Trump defaulted on over $3 billion of bank loans, allowing him to avoid personal bankruptcy. Trump's Atlantic City casinos included Harrah's at Trump Plaza, Atlantic City Hilton Hotel, and Trump Taj Mahal. Both casinos filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in 1992. In 1995, Trump founded Trump Hotels and Casino Resorts, THCR, which assumed ownership of the Trump Plaza and went bankrupt in 2004 and 2009, leaving him with 10% ownership. Trump also acquired the Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida, and converted it into a private club. The Trump Organization began building and buying golf courses in 1999, owning 14 and managing 3 Trump-branded courses worldwide. Political career. Trump registered as a Republican in 1987, a member of the Independence Party, the New York State affiliate of the Reform Party, in 1999, a Democrat in 2001. A Republican in 2009, unaffiliated in 2011, and a Republican in 2012. In 1987, Trump placed full-page advertisements in 3 major newspapers expressing his views on foreign policy and how to eliminate the federal budget deficit. In 1988, he approached Lee Atwater, asking to be put into consideration to be Republican nominee George H.W. Bush's running mate. Bush found the request strange and unbelievable. Election to the presidency. On November 8, 2016, Trump received 306 pledged electoral votes versus 232 for Clinton, though, after elector defections on both sides, the official count was ultimately 304 to 227. Trump, the 5th person to be elected president while losing the popular vote, received nearly 2.9 million fewer votes than Clinton. He also was the only president who neither served in the military nor held any government office prior to becoming president. Trump's victory was a political upset. Polls had consistently shown Clinton with a nationwide, though diminishing, lead, as well as an advantage in most of the competitive states. Trump won 30 states, including Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, states which had been considered a blue wall of Democratic strongholds since the 1990s. Clinton won 20 states and the District of Columbia. Trump's victory marked the return of an undivided Republican government, a Republican White House combined with Republican control of both chambers of Congress. Trump's election victory sparked protests in major U.S. cities. On the day after Trump's inauguration, an estimated 2.6 million people worldwide, including an estimated 500,000 in Washington, D.C., protested against Trump in the women's marches. Post-presidency, 2021, present. At the end of his term, Trump went to live at his Mar-a-Lago club and established an office as provided for by the former President's Act. Trump is entitled to live there legally as a club employee. Trump's false claims concerning the 2020 election were commonly referred to as the big lie in the press and by his critics. In May 2021, Trump and his supporters attempted to co-opt the term, using it to refer to the election itself. The Republican Party used Trump's false election narrative to justify the imposition of new voting restrictions in its favor. As late as July 2022, Trump was still pressuring state legislators to overturn the 2020 election. Unlike other former presidents, Trump continued to dominate his party. He has been described as a modern party boss. He continued fundraising, raising more than twice as much as the Republican Party itself, and profited from fundraisers many Republican candidates held at Mar-a-Lago. Much of his focus was on how elections are run and on ousting election officials who had resisted his attempts to overturn the 2020 election results. In the 2022 midterm elections, he endorsed over 200 candidates for various offices, most of whom supported his false claim that the 2020 presidential election was stolen from him. 2024 Presidential Campaign. On November 15, 2022, Trump announced his candidacy for the 2024 presidential election and set up a fundraising account. In March 2023, the campaign began diverting 10% of the donations to Trump's leadership PAC. Trump's campaign had paid $100 million towards his legal bills by March 2024. In December 2023, the Colorado Supreme Court ruled Trump disqualified for the Colorado Republican primary for his role in inciting the January 6, 2021, attack on Congress. In March 2024, the U.S. Supreme Court restored his name to the ballot in a unanimous decision, ruling that Colorado lacks the authority to enforce Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which bars insurrectionists from holding federal office. During the campaign, Trump made increasingly violent and authoritarian statements. He also said that he would weaponize the FBI and the Justice Department against his political opponents and use the military to go after Democratic politicians and those that do not support his candidacy. Trump used harsher, more dehumanizing anti-immigrant rhetoric than during his presidency. His embrace of far-right extremism and harsher rhetoric against his political enemies have been described by historians and scholars as populist, authoritarian, fascist, and unlike anything a political candidate has ever said in American history. He mentioned rigged election and election interference earlier and more frequently than in the 2016 and 2020 campaigns and refused to commit to accepting the 2024 election results. Analysts for the New York Times described this as an intensification of Trump's "heads I win, tails you cheated" rhetorical strategy. The paper said the claim of a rigged election had become the backbone of the campaign. On July 13, 2024, Trump's ear was grazed by a bullet in an assassination attempt at a campaign rally in Butler Township, Pennsylvania. The campaign declined to disclose medical records. 2 days later, the 2024 Republican National Convention nominated Trump as their presidential candidate, with Senator J.D. Vance as his running mate.